Hello everybody and welcome back to part 7 of my playthrough of Final Fantasy 1 on the Pixel Remaster collection. Following on from last time, we've completed the rank up quest where we had to meet Bahamut to change the job name of all of our characters. So we've now got a Knight, Master, White Wizard and Black Wizard as opposed to what we had before. And we're very well through the bestiary. We're on about 91 creatures now, I think 91 exactly, and we've proceeded through a lot of the chests. And if you follow the maps, go through the maps same as me, you should have every area that we've been to complete other than the Chaos Shrine, because we'll be going back there later on. So we're going to get back in the airship and proceed on with the story now to get to the next crystal, because we've still got 2 of those to do. So we're going to fly all the way up over to here, and as you can see there's a town in here that we're going to go and visit. And this town is Gaia. Now there's a couple of things in this location that we want to get. But first things first, we're going to go into the Black Mage shop and we're going to pick up some new spells, or spell. Mainly we want Blizzaga because casting Paralyze on a single enemy has never been that useful in this game because we're dealing with most enemies through combat directly. So some more characters we're going to speak to just because I like picking up the dialogue. And then in the White Mage shop, there's again 2 spells we're going to cast. Kiraja, just an upgraded version of what we've been using. Diaja, so these are just the best versions of these spells now because we've gotten to that point in the game. So just some more characters to speak to. As you can tell based on the location that this city was on the map, unless you have an airship or a way to fly, there's no way to visit here. So I think a lot of these people are trapped. They've just forever been in this city because obviously there used to be a race called Sky People that would visit around, but missing for a little while. So there's a weapon and armor shop here as well as a second Black Mage and White Mage shop. So I think we're going to pick up some more odd bits, depending on what they have for sale. So the Black Mage shop this time, there's none of those spells we particularly need. They all do interesting things, but again, we're doing it fine. But Holy, we're definitely going to be grabbing on the White Mage. It's also the amount of money all of these spells cost. If we were to pick them all up now, we would have burnt through our entire stock of cash. So, armor-wise, we're going to grab some ruby armlets because this is finally the time where... Oh, no. I'm not going to buy some ruby armlets. The cat claws is another item we can give to the Black Mage. It's probably the best physical item they can get, but it was a lot of money. It was almost everything we had. So we'll forego getting that for now, but we'll get it later. The item shop is up here, so if you need to restock on anything, just come and grab what you need. I like doing 99 of everything, as you probably see me purchase a few times, so restock. And then up here is somebody we need to speak to, but we don't need to do it now, so I'm going to come back here later. So I've left the city and gone back onto the airship, and we're going to head to the next location. So just head due east and head down, and we're looking for somewhere to land around this area of desert, and I think this might be the only location we can land. So if you head into this top bit up here, but before we head in there, I'm going to amend the modifiers because there's something that costs a little bit of money we need to get from in here, as well as in the spells we saw in the previous city command. So I will join you again shortly when this is finished. So we've done quite a bit of grinding, and now we're going to head on inside. So there's a caravan pitched up here, and somebody who's going to sell us a few things that we need. And this one here, a bottled fairy for 40,000 gil. And then there's also tonics we can buy here that do each of your respective stats, so strength, HP, defense, and agility. I'd recommend buying some of each. I've grabbed 10 of each, but the main one we want will always be... We'll pretty much always use the strength tonic. The giant tonic is also useful. And then I'm just going to sell all of my duplicate equipment here just to reimburse me a little bit of the money, but again, that's not really something you need to do. I would have recommended grinding outside this this location just to suck up on some money so you can purchase all the spells that we previously saw. So just going to keep going through this. As soon as we finish in this location, we're going to head back to Gaia. And something's going to trigger with the bottled fairy that we've just picked up. So I will head back to the airship now. No, just going to see if there's any new encounters around here, but I don't believe there is. So yeah, head back to the airship, and we're going to head back to Gaia. So up in here in the section of the mountains, head back in, and we'll get an immediate trigger. Need to remember to turn the boost off because I did not do that, and I was promised I would when I proceeded back with the main game. So we take a couple of steps in, and we lift up the bottle that we just got, and the fairy flies out. Now we need to go and chase the fairy. So they've gone somewhere we haven't been in this location yet, so just follow the route I'm going. Basically, we're going to go back up to the top left after healing up, and follow it around, and we'll find the location that the fairy is currently waiting for us in, and they'll give us an item to proceed upwards with. So yep, up and around. Now that we've got some money, we can actually buy the things we were missing earlier. So I would like ruby armlets, at least specifically just for the white mage and black mage who's going to equip it on. Whereas the gloves I will end up equipping on everybody that's not the monk. So protect ring is really good for both stats. Protect ring on everybody, and ruby armlet on everybody, and then nothing I need to sell in here, but because I just did it, but I'm checking over again just in case. Oh no, there is now, yeah, because we've taken off the duplicate leather gloves that we bought. So swordsman as well. I can buy the cat claws, but I ran out of money because I didn't grind for as long as I thought I would. But it's not an item you need, so don't worry about going out of your way to get it. So proceed on up here, past the item shop we saw earlier, and we came up to here where there's a mansion. This guy will just tell you that he caught a fairy, and he sold it, and tells us that obviously he sold it at the caravan, but that's not what we need. And this place is actually the temple, although the inside of the building is much smaller than what we see on the outside, considering all the other ones we've been in the same size. So yeah, follow this winding route over and around here, and then up here there's be a bottle of water, and because we let the fairy go, it's up here. And it's going to give us some oxalotl, which they're going to get from the bottom of the lake, and this is going to allow us to breathe underwater. So a little bit of a cutscene while we get that. Just got to wait for them to come and give it to us. But there we go, oxalotl, oxyale, however you say it. I'm not too good on knowing what all of the words were, but basically means, yeah, we can not run out of air if we've got it when we go underwater. So if you can probably guess, we're going to be going underwater, and I wonder what crystal might be down there, what might be there. So go back into the airship and head to the east, and then once we get over to here, we're going to want to head a little bit further inward to the continent, and then follow the lake up. So the waterfall is what we're looking for, but I'm trying to remember where's best to land to get to it. I think you have to come from it from below, but I'm just checking if there's any way to go from it from above. So I think the best landing point is just to the right of that city there. I don't know if you can land here. I think we've got to go a bit further south. The airship cannot land, as you've seen over this and previous episodes, anywhere where it's not just completely flat ground. But I'm really struggling with this, and I don't know why. We can land up here, but I don't know if this is somewhere we can actually get to the waterfall from. But we'll soon find out. We'll get some encounters on the way. Ah, no, yes, we could have landed up there, because it was any body of water will get us to it. So we just need somewhere to land. So we're going to head on up. We get the same enemies we've been fighting for a while in water, because that does not change. And inside the waterfall we go, which is aptly named Waterfall Canyon. Unsurprisingly, in Waterfall Canyon, you don't overly fight water enemies. You fight undead. And there's some bats in here. Hopefully these ones don't get in our way. So most of the encounters in here are going to be King Mummy and Mummy. If not all the encounters in here will be that. Just follow the route I'm taking, but the general aim is we want to proceed to the leftmost location and then all the way to the bottom. And that's where there's a door, which will take us to the next item that we need. I was correct, there were other enemies in here. The clay golem was the other one. And then in here there's a monster. And that was a fight with a lot of things. And there's a clay golem, which is what we're going to restore. He's going to give us a warp cube, which are going to be used to get to the flying fortress, which is about all of the sky people that we've had mentioned a couple of times on pieces of dialogue. He's going to break down in the way of one of the chests, but fortunately he still does keep moving, or it still does keep moving, so I can still get to it. And that, I believe, is the first ribbon we've acquired, which, if you've played Final Fantasy games, you will know is one of the best accessories you can have equipped, because it makes you immune to all or most status ailments. It's slightly worse defense, but ups the evasion, so we're probably going to end up chucking it on one of the wizards. And as for Beastry, we've not killed anything else, so we're still going to be at 91. Because we're missing number 80 in order, otherwise we've got everything in a row. So yeah, back to here, just checking what we got, because we did get a wizard staff as well, so that's going to be equipped on the black mage, and then yeah, we're going to put the ribbon on them. No reason not to. And then once we're finished with that, we're going to head on back and out to the airship to proceed on. Nothing we need to give the monk, and I think we've equipped everybody else with the best stuff. So, oh no, yeah, we also grabbed the defender, so equip that on the knight or the warrior. They're knights now. I keep forgetting they're on the upgraded classes. So just going to head all the way back outside. I've skipped a few of the encounters here, just so you don't have to watch all of them. But the green dragon, that I completely forgot that was in here, but that's something we need for the beastry. So take the fight, and it should go down pretty easily at this point, especially when the monk does a stupid multi-hit like that. You have good XP and good gil though, so there's something, if you can farm, are good to do so, but I don't think there's a way to increase the encountership of them, so that's the one we're going to find. But that was one of the missing enemies we've needed, so we're good to proceed on and out now. Clay Golem again we've already dealt with, so back outside we're going to be rowing. We want to go all the way back down to the airship, and of course we're going to get lots of encounters on the way. I really wish this game had something like a repel like the Pokemon games do. Or just you ignore low enemies. We're not going back to the airship, apologies. We're going to go and visit this town over here, which is Onrak, or Onrak, yes. It's got all the buildings you need in here. The route around is a little bit awkward because there's a little bit of water that you can only cross with certain bridges, and there's people that stand in the way a lot, but this is the town where people are going to describe to you that the Ox Ale kind of exists, so you ideally could have come here before you found out about the fairy in a bottle and whatnot. It seems to be the case of a lot of this game. Like, I haven't necessarily done it in order of just wandering around and discovering locations, but that's also because I've played the game and I know where things are. Whereas I imagine when this came out, it was a lot of people wandering around trying to find out where to go and what to do next, because there's no real like quest markers or descriptions. It's just slight hints from characters giving you dialogue and whatnot. Yep, that dragon recognizes that we've been honored by Bahamut, probably because we've had the class changes. So still speaking to people, but in here we get the black mage and white mage shops. Nothing we really need from the black mage shop, but the white mage shop I believe has a new spell that we are going to pick up, which is Healaga, just to get another set of those. But these are still level 7 spells, so we've still got a ways to go. If memory serves, there is also a armor and weapon shop, above the white and black mage shop, but I'm just struggling with the route because there's stuff in the way. But there's more characters to speak to as well, and there's some gravestones, but unlike the ones we saw in the original town, these don't say anything other than just it's a gravestone. We don't get any more ones that say, hey, here's Link. And we've already spoke to these characters. So you notice I haven't gone to the bottom right area yet. That's because that's going to be something we're going to trigger soon for the next section of the story, but I'm just going to go outside, double check there's no enemies that I'm missing here. But those I didn't skip, but those are something we fought in the ice cavern already. But just going to be hunting out here for some new enemies to add to the bestiary. Nothing new yet. And I think there is only one thing we're looking for, and there it is, the Manticore. They poison you, and annoyingly they can do multi-poison because it hits your whole party, but they should go down in one physical hit from each of the warrior and the monk. And I believe it was the Manticore was the only thing that we're hunting for here. So we're going to head back on inside and rest up because it costs us such little amounts of gil compared to everything we've got now. And then we're going to proceed on with the story, which is going to be heading to the bottom right of the city. It's dawned on me at this point, I probably should have skipped all of these rest animations. I wonder how much time I would have saved with the playthrough if I had done that, but we're 7 parts in, so I might as well keep going. So Cop's going to tell us about some kind of item that they saw, but that's something we've already got, which was the oxalate, however you say it. And this Sage is telling us about the fact that the water has been polluted, poisoned, and whatnot, which is we're going to go and rescue or restore the water crystal. And then this person is going to tell us to go and save the mermaids and then disappear. So I'm not sure if they were a ghost, a mermaid themselves, or well, what they were. I don't think the game ever actually tells you. So that's a mystery that we'll have to keep for now. But we're going to head on down into the sunken cavern. Oh, sunken shrine, should I say. And there's going to be a lot of things to do in here, as well as there's 2 different routes we can go. We can go left, or we can go right. And for the purposes of this playthrough and the order to do things, I think it's better to go right first, because that's the way down. Well, not down, it's going to be the steps up, but before we get to that point, there's a lot of chests and a lot of enemies we're going to be looking for, and the water Naga is one of the first, and it goes down immediately. Similar to other enemies we've been fighting recently, they're all going to have multi-hit, like water element attacks, like the ice wolves and that we've been fighting recently. And here we get another 3 that we're looking for: the sea troll, the sea scorpion, and the sea snake. As you can quite clearly see, they're just blue reskins of things we fought before, but they get a lot more health and can do a lot more damage. I think we're still over-leveled for this section of the game, but there's very much multi-hit damage we can take, especially if we get ambushed by a lot of enemies. We finally get the new shark, which is the white shark, so these hit a lot harder and have quite a bit more health than the previous sharks, but we will see those sharks down here as well. They're not prone to only living at the surface of the water. We'll see them down here as well. But got a few rooms to explore and a couple of chests to grab. But we've done the bulk of the enemies now that will appear on this floor. Just follow my route around here, and we'll end up picking up all the chests. Another set of those 3. I think those are the most common encounter you'll have in here, in a varying degree. They won't always have the snakes in them. There's nothing in this room up here. Again, if you want to make it easy to tell which chests are where the chests are, just go in one of the rooms and then open the map like you've seen me do here, and it tells you where the chests would or would not be located. So we've picked up all the ones on this chest, and we're going to proceed on upwards to floor 4. This has got another couple of routes you can take. No new enemies there, and some new rooms that may or may not have chests in. Like the first one does not, but as you can see, the weird C-shaped one over there does, or backward C-shaped one does there, and the one at the bottom, both the ones at the bottom do. and then the one on the far left does as well. So we're going to be taking some routes around to make sure that we get all of these, just mapping out the best way to proceed around and what the direct route is. Nothing new again, but go all the way around this way to get to the first room. As you saw there, we get sharks as well as white sharks. But there's the first chest reached. And these are a new enemy, ghosts, just an improved version again of the wraiths. Can still paralyze, and I believe they can cast a couple of different spells, like fire and that to multi-hit the party, but we didn't see it there, so if I see it next time I'll let you know. We're just going to keep experiencing sharks. In the room up the top, I don't think I showed this one on the map, but there is something up here with mainly the diamond armor. The diamond armor is something very, very good to equip. But after the amount of fights we've been through, might as well do a quick bit of healing just to keep us topped up. Now we're going to head on around, some more fights, but go the left side now, all the way down, and we'll be able to get to all of the rooms that we saw earlier on the right hand side, as well as that one from the far left. Sahagins, we fought those before. Light axe is pretty worthless at this point. They do seem to give you items that you're never going to use later points in the game, or for the point we can get to. There's no way we'd use some of this equipment. But yeah, we're finally going to have a quick look at armor. Diamond armor massively increases your defense for the reduction of 1 evasion, so chuck it on. There's no reason not to. And then the major staff is just not as good as the wizard staff, so no reason to equip it. The last chest room is up here, where we get 12,000 gil. It's right next to the next set of stairs, so this one we're going to take up. Now this room is very complicated, because there's a lot of rooms with a lot of chests, a lot of mermaids in. I did just spoil it to telling you they're all mermaids, but yes, they're mermaids that we're rescuing. But there's certain rooms that you can only get to by going a certain way around the area, and I'm equipping the diamond armlet there on the monk, and as for the beastry, we should be at 100 out of 128 now, so we're getting very, very close to being done. There's a couple that we're missing that we're going to find in this area. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a set way around to get to some of these rooms, so I'm going to show basically my whole route around this location. And there's no encounters up here, so we don't have to worry about getting a fight every 2 or 3 seconds. But I'm going to start from the bottom left, and I'll speak to the mermaids just so you can see the dialogue they do, but it's nothing really interesting. As you can see, there's a lot of cracks over the floor that just limit the ability for you to go to locations. So they're all going to have different pieces of dialogue. We want to stick to the left side first, loop our way around. Can't go that way. So it's left side, up to the top. Should be a chest in this room, I believe. No, it's another mermaid. They're surprised we can breathe underwater, because we got the super secret item. Got some more gil here. Below is a chest. Is a room with another mermaid in. And then below that are the rooms we've already been to. Or the one on the left is the room we've already been to. The ones on the right are the ones we want to go to. So head right for the middle tier, and there's a chest with a mermaid in the same room. And now going right, we've got the way of going up and down again. There's a mermaid in here, but we can proceed down a further route to the other room that has a chest and a mermaid in. But we can't get to the right room unless we go all the way around like this, which is just another chest for a diamond shield, which is a good piece of equipment for the knight. And I think the knight is basically topped up as far as you can go at this point without, say, giving him the ribbon. Up here is the next chest, and then there's 2 rooms left that we haven't been to. This one here, and then the one we can see on the right, which to get there you've got to take a bit of an awkward route, so go all the way up to no, it's not this way. We need to go we need to left and then all the way around again, if memory serves. just double checking my notes to make sure I do end up going the right way. So yeah, follow me here, left, up here, and then it should be further to the left, and we're going to loop all the way around. Because one side of this location attached to the other. It's basically like Pac-Man, where you could go off the edge one side and get it to the other. And we've grabbed the Rosetta Stone, which is the key item that we needed from this location. So just going to show you that I've grabbed every chest in this location. Hoping you can't hear all the Discord notifications I just had while recording this. I thought I'd set myself to quiet. And then to go out, we need to go back up the way we just came, and then a little bit of a loop to go around again. I'm going to show you all this just because it's quite easy to get stuck within a little couple of bits in this area as I as I am doing myself. I'm on the complete wrong side to get back to the doors. I need to go up, and left again before I can head all the way down to where the stairs was. But this is it. We've finished the right side of the shrine, if you remember from the bottom floor where we came in. So we just need to head all the way back down there now, and we can go to the left side. But before that, I want to go and heal up. I think I'll end up popping back up to the town, and we'll heal up. Just head all the way back to the stairs where we came up, over there on the right. And, we get another set of encounters, the water elementals. So these are not very physically tanky, but they resist a lot more than previous things we've done. They're tornadoes, which somehow represents a water elemental, but they can also do some good AoE magic onto you. So a couple of those can hit quite hard. So now we're just going to be heading back up to the town, and we're just going to rest up, so I'll catch you back here shortly. And I've skipped back down to the bottom and the fights that we get. So this time we're going to be heading to the left set of stairs, which is going to take us down through the sunken shrine. A couple more enemies I think we're going to be looking for on this side of the shrine, but I'll let you know those as we encounter them. So this is the second floor, so there's only really one way we can go, which is up and then to the stairs over there, and we'll end up revisiting this floor. So again, just follow the route that I take, and it should navigate you through this location. And that was a rough fight, getting ambushed by 7 sea scorpions. We'll get back up to the third floor, which immediately takes us to the fourth, which just has another shrine, another room and a set of stairs, but there's nothing in the room. So now we're back on the third floor. If you looked at the maps earlier, this was something you could see, but not anywhere you could get to. And I'm poisoned from that encounter. There's a chest there and another chest down here. And then there's going to be an exit door at the bottom. Just got to fight our way through it. Into another set of stairs. This time we're back down to the second floor, but we're on the other side of the map from where we were earlier. So there's a couple more rooms we want to go into. I believe there's 2, and then the set of stairs in the top left. Aha! And here's another one of the enemies we're looking for. Deepeyes. Very, very weak, but something you definitely want to take out almost immediately, because it's a spell casting type of enemy. It will cast some multi-hit spells on you more than so than anything else. It's probably more dangerous than the water elementals are, and they're probably the thing that can do the most damage to us at the moment. But again, if you're roughly the same level I am, you shouldn't really be struggling to get through any of this. Ambushes are your only real worry, but even then, unless you're going into the fights with low health, an ambush should never really take you out unless you get horribly unlucky. So just grab the 3 chests that are in this room. You'll get some encounters as well. At this point in the game, I think about 50% of the encounters or chests have encounters. What we got there was the Giant's Glove. So I'll go back to that after this fight. That's something we will be using, but it's not an item we'll ever equip. It's something we'll use. It's something we'll use a different way. Probably should have healed up my Black Mage there, but we got a preemptive strike, so the fight went okay. But I'm definitely going to heal up now. So a little bit of cure. Again, you feel free to use your low-level spell slots to heal up at this point, because you're never casting a low-level spell on the White Mages other than to do healing. So this is the last room now. 4 chests. And the Sahagan Prince, which is a new version of the Sahagan, I believe. If not, I've left this fight in for no reason. And 2 White Sharks, which you can take out with relative ease. So just blitz through that. And then we get access to our 4 chests, which, thankfully, don't get monsters in, and it gives us our 2nd ribbon, which is immediately going to go on my White Mage. The HP increases I've had on the Black Mage, I think, have been a bit lackluster and low on this playthrough, so I've been prioritising them. But depending on how your Black Mage is looking on your playthrough, he may not have needed as much attention as mine. But alas, that's some of the things we end up having to deal with. So proceed down, and there's only one way. No, I'm not correct. You can avoid going to some of these rooms. But first things first, we want to go to the topmost room. And we're going to get a couple of encounters on the way. This room you can just go left and go out the other door, and this will take us to a room that's just below. Feels like I'm getting more encounters constantly here, but there's nothing in that room. And then there's another room in the bottom left, and this is the one we did want to head to. So keep going, and I'm completely wrong. There are no chests in either of those rooms. I've wasted a little bit of your time. Head all the way back up, and we're going to take the leftmost route. And then from here it should be a completely straight line from where you can go. We're just going to constantly get encounters, and then it takes us to a big, big room. Which, again, proceed through. And there's a door on the middle left that we're heading for. The rest of it is all just for design. Through here, and then it's a single route we can go again. Man, there's so many encounters. I'm so glad. You guys are not having to experience as much time as I am, because I'm just cutting them all out. And then in here is the orb and the crystal, so we're going to fight the next fiend. You humans do impress. I would not have thought to see you here, because we can't breathe underwater. And the fiend reveals himself to be a squid, octopus thing. But do you really think you can defeat the fiend of water? Fools, these dark depths shall be your tomb. And we get to fight Kraken. Feel free to just absolutely wail on him, and with the White Mage, feel free just to cast Holy, just so you can do some extra damage, or just attack physically. At this point in the game, for boss fights, I'm probably always going to cast Haste on the Monk, just to get the multi-hits even higher, because you've already seen his ridiculous damage output, and, you know, let's have it go higher. So the Warrior and the Monk are going to continue hitting. The White Mage might as well cast Holy. And then the Black Mage is probably going to just always be casting Temper or magical spells. Temper on the Monk just means he'll hit even harder. But, as you can see there, my Black Mage is prone to getting one-shot by a boss like this, because he hits for like 390 on his low defense, and my Black Mage's health is not that high. But thankfully we've got a White Mage just to heal up. So Ink causes blindness, but I've been lucky this far in the playthrough, and I think going forward that blindness just doesn't matter. I'll just hit anyway. My accuracy's so good. And yeah, with 3 rounds of smacking him with the Monk and the Warrior, Kraken is no more. And with that, we're able to restore our 4th crystal. 3rd crystal. Getting ahead of myself. Way getting ahead of myself. But here we go. We whip out the blue crystal that we've got, and the big crystal flashes back to life. And we get the little victory pump that you always do in these situations. Woo! So this is the altar of water, just to some generic text, and then we're going to take a teleport all the way back to the start of the dungeon. And I'm going to cut all the way out to the main city just to show you that I got out. We're going to rest up, and then I'm going to call it here for this episode. Next episode, I believe we're going to be going and restoring the final crystal. It depends on how long the part is. I expect there's only maybe going to be 1 to 2 parts left of this, although finding the one enemy that takes a long time is entirely luck dependent, so I may end up playing for a lot more hours than where I'm at currently with you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will catch you again shortly with the next part. Goodbye.